smacking somebody around with. You can do a lot of things with a plank of wood, Kyle.
Welcome to season 6, where we're phoning it in.
You don't think critically and then put a Pop-Tart into your body.
I am highly caffeinated and minorly concussed.
Aruga!
What came first, the love sack or the gravity gun?
It's my turn to do a sin with Sonic.
This is for the freaks.
Too much piss.
That's the kind of bad decisions we like to hear about.
Love me a sleepy ass bat.
How much shrimp can you fit in your mortal body?
You told me you guys would be cool.
That's season 6 intro material right there.
Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how guns don't kill people, unlimited refills of caffeinated lemonade kills people.
My God,
Yeah, it sure
we
does.
talked about this.
How haven't we talked about this?
Twice.
I knew when the first one happened, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a fluke. And then it happened again.
Kyle, would you humor everybody listening in case people don't know about
Chronically
this?
online.
So, for anyone who's not in the know, Panera has a unlimited drinks pass where you pay a Netflix subscription
know that.
amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
Shit.
you go in, you like swipe a card and get a free drink.
I mean, I guess that is fair because Panera is kind of the Carnival Cruise of restaurant
Yeah.
chains.
Well,
So,
and-
like, why not have an unlimited drink pass, you know?
Yeah.
And they've done this. So step back to give Panera some credit here, I guess. They exist in the places they exist. One is right off close to where I work, and their big allure is that's unlimited coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pay a flat price. You can walk next door every single day and get shitty Panera coffee for one low price of a Netflix subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panera also sells a very caffeinated lemonade,
Which they did not tell how caffeinated it was.
Yeah.
much like when I worked at Starbucks and we had with the refreshers. No one knows it's caffeinated until they come in and be like, my kid drinks one of these every day and gets wired to all hell afterwards. I wonder why that is. And we tell them like, oh, because it has more caffeine than any of our coffee drinks in it. Panera has that version of their drink. And when you combine an unlimited drinks pass with a drink that has too much caffeine in it, 2 people have died. So,
Well, and to the point is, too, I think the largest pouring of Panera, it's called charged lemonade,
yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
like, could mean anything.
It's a little less subtle than Starbucks refreshers because Starbucks
Sure.
refreshers
Right.
sounds like it's like a
It's like some tonic water in there.
Yeah.
like a gentleman's yerba mate, even though yerba mate has a shit ton of caffeine too.
So charged lemonade, you could maybe assume there's some caffeine in there. If you got the largest one, it was over 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
It's too much caffeine.
It's like 4
It's
Red
like
Bulls.
that's a whole monster plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 6er of coffee.
So if you are in there like a person who decides to get the most out of their free refills and you hit 2 of those up, you've had I think the FDA doesn't suggest over 400 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And you've had 6 in one Panera.
It's
Yeah.
2 monsters. That's like 3 Red Bulls.
Yeah. So, not saying
2 people have died.
2
People have died.
Drink your charged lemonade if you want, but be warned, it's killed 2 people, and it may kill again.
A second charged lemonade has hit the building.
Literally.
Not to disrespect the dead, but I saw a post on Threads the other day that said, gonna fill the humidifier with charged lemonade and shut the garage door. Anyway, Kyle, why don't we continue on with the episode?
Matt, I don't believe you because I don't believe anyone uses Threads.
Nope. There's lots of us. There's hundreds of us.
There's dozens of us.
Dozens of us.
So, unfortunately, listeners, after 5 years of shitty peripheral episodes, episode 20, episode 45, episode 70, episode 91, and episode 113, the DT ! Coffers have run a tad dry. We just don't have the funds this year to gift each other abominations of plastic and wire posing as a means of interacting with your favorite gaming device for this non-denominational gift-giving winter holiday. So, to help keep the lights on at DT HQ, Matt, Antoine Austin Cole, Andrew, Mark Hall Patton Henderson, and Todd Steve Grad Thomas have scoured the attics and doom closets of their loved ones for some forgotten collectibles that may have some value, and took their best finds to NookSwap to trade in our memories for cold hard cash.
I need pop-up definitions. I need VH1 pop-up definitions, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I've paused my Prime rewatch, and I want to see what it says
Yeah.
under each actor's name.
So those are the 3 most frequent people on Pawn Stars after the main 4. Those are the 3
Okay.
most recurring experts.
Are these... Oh, these are experts, not people. I thought you meant just people that come back
They
to the
keep coming
pawn
back.
shop a lot. Like, they have frequent
Same.
flyers.
So to
Yeah.
be fair, I'm not entirely sure that what
Okay.
their role is on Pawn Stars. They
Maybe a
are
little column A, column B.
they appear in the next most episodes after Rick, Corey, Chumley, and the old man.
The old one.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Pawn co-stars.
They're Pawn co-stars.
Pun co-stars.
Precisely.
One of these has to be the Civil War guy, and one of these has to be the Elvis guy.
Oh, I bet
Yeah.
one's a coin guy.
Todd,
Yeah.
yours is in the most. Yours is in 100 episodes.
Yeah,
Steve
suck it.
Grad. Mark Hall Patton is next at 39 episodes, and Antoine Austin is at 31 episodes.
That's your Star Wars toys and Star Trek toys guy.
Mm,
That's the other dichotomy you're missing here.
mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're heading over to NookSwap to trade these collectibles in. We've set up a special appointment with the owner so we could work out the best deal for our collectibles. And here he is now.
Kyle's gonna do a voice. Kyle's gonna do a voice.
I've not thought of Tom Nook and his oppressive regime in so long. You're
been a
taking me
minute.
back to March 2020, Kyle, is what you're doing. Simpler times.
Yeah, we're all going back.
We used to be a country.
We used to be an island.
Look what they took from us.
Feels bad.
Nah, I'm just kidding. That's my dad's thing.
Good.
I'm Tommy Nook, and this is my pawn shop. I work here with my old man and my brother, Big Tommy.
Good.
Everything in here has a story and a price. One thing I've learned after 22 years, you never know what's going to come through that door.
Perfect.
God damn, how have we not done a Pawn Stars episode yet?
Yeah, no,
We're
this is good.
fixing that mistake now, Matt.
I don't want to actually you, Kyle, but the 2 sons have names. They're Timmy and Tommy.
Yeah, this is Timmy. Timmy is
Okay.
the owner of
Oh, got it.
NookSwap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andrew.
I thought it was Tommy and Big Tommy. I thought that's it.
His old man is Tom Nook, who we all know and
Got it.
love. And then Timmy doesn't canonically have a son, so I had to do the brother. Come on.
Got it.
Keep,
and
keep
they've
up.
got,
I'm on
they've
board
got
now.
a friend for comedic value named Tom Lee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm the problem.
Yes, the drummer of Motley Crue.
Yeah, we got there.
So, guys, what have you brought in today? Tell us what you got. What are we looking at? What are you hoping to get today? Matt.
Well, Kyle and Tim, Nook,
Timmy.
Timmy Nook, Tim Nookski of NookSwap. Hey, man, look, I got this sign. It's a big old wooden sign. That's what it is. It's a sign, and on the bottom, see down here, bottom corner, it says Atari on it. Now, I know people love old signs. I've been watching a lot of American Pickers, another show that we will inevitably spoof at some other point. And people love old signs. And this here sign's made of wood. And there's not a lot of wood video games, and this wood says Atari on it. So this is real life wood for a video game that is also probably a sign because it's got a screw hole in the middle of it.
All right.
The sentence, there aren't a lot of wood video games. I
Yeah.
would love to just dive in on that for just a sec.
All right, let's go.
Can you name any other wood video games?
Well, I probably could if I thought about it, but the thing is, this is real life wood. This isn't a video game about wood. This
Weren't
is
most
a
arcade
wooden...
cabinets made of wood?
Okay, so that's a fair point, and I'm glad you thought about
It's
it.
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So maybe this is part of an arcade cabinet. Maybe this is the sign that graces the top of an arcade cabinet.
Now, Matt, this is Timmy speaking.
Tommy.
Jesus Christ.
One of many raccoons in this store.
All the raccoons just stand there with their mouth open, and you don't know which one's making the noise.
I'm but a humble shop owning raccoon. Can you tell me how large this sign is? How big a piece of wood with a screw hole we're talking here?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. It is 17 and a half inches long sign. It's about 6 inches wide. It's not a wide sign. And then it's about an inch and a half thick. So it's a full plank of wood.
Okay. Got a plank of wood with the Atari logo on it.
Uh-huh.
And a screw hole.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think it's probably worth about $200,000.
No, $200,000. Okay.
Well, if this is Pawn Stars, I got to overshoot a little bit. So,
Matt, I'm going to send you with our planks of wood expert.
Oh, man, you got one of those.
He's going to tell you what you got, and we'll come back and find out in the next question while Andrew shows us what he brought today.
So, Tommy, Big Timmy, Little Timmy, Timbo.
Yep. That's all of us.
That's all of them. It all started when I was out in New York for work a couple of months ago. You see, I was walking around in the East Village and I stumbled across this like hole-in-the-wall shop that looked like it was a hollowed-out basement or something used for some other purpose recently. To be honest, I wasn't really interested in anything that I could see from the window, but what drew me in was the most intoxicating aroma. Now, I'll be clear, I could tell it was pizza, but like not the fresh pizza that you can smell from like every other block walking around New York City. No, Timmy, this was different. This was the kind of pizza that I used to have as a kid that came from a Chef Boyardee box.
Ooh.
This was fake pizza.
Okay. A fake pizza shop. Okay.
A fake, well, this is what I thought. So, and there was just something so plastic about it that I couldn't help be drawn in. So I headed in. As the bell above me chimed, the cashier looked in my direction and welcomed me in. The eclectic mix of oddities and curios paled in comparison to the fragrance that had filled my nostrils. I looked at the shopkeep and asked what that heavenly scent was. They just shrugged. So, Timmy, like a game of hot and cold, I followed my nose to the back left corner of the room and I saw it. There, sitting, a neon green Xbox controller with a plastic slice of pizza coming out from the battery port.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah. Now, upon closer inspection, that neon green, what I saw was actually a full decal of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with some like green oozy background kind of treatment.
Okay.
I bent down, took a big ol' whiff, and confirmed that this, in fact, was the pizza smell I had caught from the street. Kyle, Timmy, I bring to you today a TMNT Xbox controller that smells like pizza. Here you go.
Okay.
What expert? What expert are you getting? Tell us. What's the expert?
I mean, we have a lot of dirty Xbox controllers.
We got a dirty Xbox controller guy in the back.
Yeah. You got a lot of smelly controllers, but not this particular type of smelly.
Okay. Yeah, Andrew, we are going to send you off with our plastic food expert today. But before you go, tell us how much you're hoping to get today.
Well, Kyle, if I could get out of here with about, let's say 30K, I think I'd be pretty happy.
Okay.
Now that you've told Kyle how much you want to get, will you tell Timmy?
Well, Timmy, I told your friend Kyle 30K, but really what I'm hoping to get is 40K.
Okay.
Is that better?
Okay. That is.
Did we do it?
We got there. Thank you. Yeah, go talk with our plastic food expert. He's also our dirty controllers expert. So
perfect.
Either way, I think we got you covered.
Gross.
And Todd, why don't you describe to us what you brought in today?
Yeah, thanks T-Money. Also, happy non-denominational gift-giving winter holiday season to you and yours.
Oh, thank you.
I have a controller with a lot of buttons on it, but I want to tell you a story first, because all Pawn Stars people come in and tell stories.
It's true.
Yes, we haven't. The first two went pretty quick, so it's about time for
I literally told a story. I literally told a story.
Excuse me. Why is this man yelling? I'm holding a large controller with a lot of buttons. Listen, Timmy, I'm not good at video games. In fact, the last time I was really good at video games was in that like Halo 3 era. Back then, You know, I could pwn noobs with the best of them and then type chat using the Xbox 360 controller fast enough to tell the other team exactly how much grass they should touch before their respawn counter hit 0. See, back then we didn't say touch grass. We said vile things about people they love.
The last time, you can tell Todd's not good at games because the last time he played a video game, he was pwning noobs.
Pwning noobs. Yeah. Pwning noobs.
No one has pwned a noob since 2012.
Halo 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss that feeling. And somehow I feel limited in my 30s and that I'm losing my edge when it comes to video games.
Probably.
I mean, hell, I've played Overwatch with Matt for years, and I can count on one hand the number of times I've been able to win a match and then using the Switch's all chat, type out GG easy before the game ends because I just can't do it like I used to.
Who's that for?
Me.
The four of us, apparently.
Yeah, it is for the four of us. So I realized that in the evolution of gaming, it's always like more buttons make you better. You know, you go from Nintendo to Super Nintendo to N64. It's always more buttons. And so
it's like how talking louder makes people think you're smarter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And know more languages.
Yeah. So I went searching and I to find something that would kind of get me back to my old speed, and I found it, Timmy. It's a modern marvel, really. I found a controller with close to 100 buttons on it.
Oh, that's so many buttons.
It's so many buttons, and its dimensions are like 6 inches by 9 inches, and it's very flat. And I just think that it's exactly what I need to get back in the game, and what other people also need to just really level up their experience when it comes to video games. So what I brought for you is a Nintendo Switch, I believe, adapted controller with just a lot of buttons, almost 100.
Okay.
And I would like to get about $1,000 a button. So I'll just round down to 90,000.
90,000. Okay, so we've got 200,000 for Matt's
reasonable.
plank of wood with a screw hole.
Yep.
30 to 40,000 for Andrew's smelly controller.
This is correct.
Todd, our old controllers guy, is with Andrew, so I'm going to send you with
These are new controllers. This is a Nintendo Switch.
We're going to send you with our buttons expert.
Now, is this like sewn buttons or buttons they press?
It's actually both.
Todd, it would amaze you how much this guy knows
Is his
about
name Buttons?
all kinds of buttons.
It's Steven.
It's buttons that fasten your shirt, buttons that input controls to things, and buttons that advertise political candidates. He covers all the bases. He's our buttons guy.
Right.
I mean, he wouldn't be much of a buttons guy if you left out
one of those three.
One of the buttons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But before I send you off with him, Todd, I just have to make sure this isn't the GameCube controller with a keyboard that Kyle gifted you.
No.
All those non-denominational winter gift-giving holidays ago.
I cannot be clear enough that this is, I'm pretty sure this is a Nintendo Switch controller with almost 100 buttons.
Okay.
It's not, that's a good idea though. Now what you've said, they might have been onto something. They might have been onto something in 2000, but this is different.
Okay. Yeah, go see what our buttons guy has to say and get back to us.
Todd, a very honest request from your friend here, Andrew. Can I have a picture of this stupid thing, please?
Well, you got to wait till prompt 2 to do pictures,
yet,
right?
You can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can't do pictures till prompt 2? All right, fine.
You have to wait like Timmy and Tommy.
Ugh.
You have to wait like the rest of us. Good news, though. You guys are all back from your experts. You know, they've told you what you got, what it's worth, and I would like you to share that with the group today. Because this is more than just a pawn shop. It's content.
It's a family.
It's and a family. So, Matt, what did the expert tell you?
Timmy et al., I have incredible news. Turns out, not a sign at all. We thought it was going to be a sign. It's not, Kyle. It's a
Who's we?
controller.
Who's we?
Me and the expert.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jonathan Woodman. Jonathan Woodman.
Yep, that's the
Yeah.
expert's name. I'm glad you
I have
remembered
life
that.
insurance through them.
Yeah, it's not a sign. It turns out it's actually the Atari Stick Station.
Oh!
Oh, that's a crime.
And Matt, what did Jonathan Woodman tell you about the Stick Station?
God, Kyle, I'd love to tell you. Kyle et al., Tim Nook, and family and friends. The Atari Stick Station, sold briefly between 1983 and 1984 by mail order only, was an Atari peripheral created by a company called Skywriter to mount your Atari joystick in, apparently to help with hand cramps. That's pretty much it. I'll put a link in the show notes because it's what you want, so you can go ahead and check that out while I'm talking here. But for $14.95, you could mail in to Louisville, Kentucky, and receive back in one of two colors, either poplar or walnut, that was 17 and a half inches long, 6 inches wide, 1.5 inches thick, and weighed about 3 pounds. Now, it was $14.95 in 1984, 83, which, per inflation, is about the same as $47 now. Oh, I will remind you, this is a plank of wood you screw your controller into. And the craziest thing about it is that there's not actually a trade price for this, because so far only 2 have ever been publicly found. This is considered to be one of the rarest Atari collectible things ever made. The Atari Stick Station.
That is actually kind of impressive. Now, let me get this clear. This is not a controller with a giant wood base.
Same question.
Just a wood base. You need to have a controller to put into it.
Controller sold separately. Yes.
The hubris of this product.
Absolutely. Controller sold separately, not included. Some assembly required. It's a piece of wood.
Amazing.
So it could be a sign.
It could be a sign.
Could be.
Without the controller in there, I would argue it's more sign than controller, actually.
Same.
I want to believe, and I'm not going to do the research right now, because it's not on this one sheet you handed us, and I'm not looking any further. But I want to believe that this is made, because it's made in Louisville, Kentucky, that it is made from the same wood that the bats are. I'm going to believe that until proven otherwise.
So that is also my headcanon. Please allow me to go down this brief rabbit hole. I'm pretty sure I've read every website that exists about this product today, because there are not many.
If only 2 have been recovered, yeah.
Yeah, this just surfaced on the internet like 2 years ago, December of 21. And so far, only 2 of them have really been posted about. I researched desperately to find anything about the company that made this and found nothing. Yeah, it just, everybody knows it exists, and that's about as much as we have.
I very much want to meet the person who like sees this in like a shop or a museum or some sort, and just like, holy shit, the Stick Station.
Right?
Just like I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
The other one.
Yes, the other one.
The other one. That's the thing, is like, this was sold basically only through magazine advertisement as a mail order thing. So this would absolutely be one of those, somebody walked through a Goodwill and saw in the home goods section an Atari placemat and said, oh my God, I always wanted to buy one of those when I earned $15 from lifeguarding at the pool over the summer. It's the Atari Stick Station, everybody. And I got one today in this world in which we live.
A 2-of-a-kind item is very impressive to come through our doors. Matt, do you have any authenticating papers with your Stick Station so that we know you didn't just sand down a piece of wood and paint it?
You didn't 3D print and then put ramen noodles over and sand it down, this Stick Station?
Kyle, have you seen the price of lumber these days? Do you think I'm making anything made out of wood in 2023? No, sir.
Fair enough. I would love this out of the bit. I would love to know what magazines this advertised in, and like for how long, for only 2 of them to emerge. But this is wild.
Yeah. I'm also curious, like, how do they where did they get off making the claims that it will deliver freedom from hand cramps and wrist fatigue?
It's the first ergonomic attachment for a video game controller.
In that it sits
How
on your
dare
lap.
you? How dare you?
So, and again, like I said, I think I've read all 15 websites about this today. The idea is that it's more like an arcade cabinet, right? Think about 1983, right? This is the crash of home console era, and everybody is trying to bring the arcade feeling home. And so this gives you more of that feeling.
I think the idea is you don't have a death grip on the on the box part of the Atari joystick. You're like setting it on a coffee table because
you're setting it on a table.
You can afford both a TV and an Atari in 1983, which is approximately $10,000 worth of electronics.
Yeah.
So you have a nice living room with a coffee table that you can set this stick station on. So
it's a lot of cocaine money.
It's a lot of cocaine money.
A lot of cocaine money. You know, this is a pretty smooth finish. I bet you could do some pretty good lines of cocaine off of this as well. Being 1983 and all.
That's a good point.
It's a good point. Matt, this is fascinating. Thank you for bringing it in today. We will make you an offer after we hear the other items today. Andrew, you have spoken to our Dirty Controllers expert. What did they tell you? What did you learn?
Yeah, so Timmy, took me a second. As it turns out, this controller that I found in an unassuming shop in the East Village was actually a promotional stunt for the new TMNT movie that came out earlier this year, Mutant Mayhem. Did any of you guys see that? Matt?
It was pretty good.
Do you saw it?
I didn't.
You liked it?
It was on Paramount, I think.
Oh, it was on
really
Paramount?
good.
Okay, cool.
I haven't watched it. It's on my list, but I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
I heard it was decent.
It's like the first time that the turtles actually feel like they're teenage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because they got like kid VO or voice actors, which like that's cool.
And like the names are huge. Like it's not to. We'll talk about it in the post show. It's a good movie.
Sick. So this controller was of a series originally offered as part of a sweepstakes held over Twitter. So the pizza smell tech that powers this controller is all in that plastic pizza slice. And I'm just going to throw in another image here and I'm also going to link in the show notes to the press release because it's a good press release. So there you go. So we've got the official promo clip from
Win the world's first pizza scented Xbox controllers.
That's right.
I guarantee you they're not the first pizza scented Xbox controllers.
Not intentionally.
On purpose. Yeah, so let me explain the pizza scent tech. So do you guys see?
Have to?
Yeah, I'm gonna. So these are just like regular ass Xbox controllers, and if you're not seeing this image, if you're listening, there is just a big stupid plastic pepperoni pizza sticking out of the back.
Where like a rumble pack would go if Xbox controllers needed a rumble pack. Instead,
100%.
there is plastic molded
pack.
pizza.
It's a
on
pizza
the
pack.
Xbox.
Yeah. So what that is, so it literally like it connects to the battery pack. And what that is a diffuser. It's a battery powered diffuser.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be pizza scented.
No, but in the box, when you open it up, you literally get a pizza flavored essential oil that you put inside of the pizza, and then it's like you press a button and it spritzes like perfume.
Yeah.
It's like putting on turbo mode in a PS2. You put on pizza mode.
You put it on pizza mode.
Oh, I hate this.
Yeah. So more importantly, what I learned from our smelly controllers expert, James Pizza, was that
that's a stage name, guys. Calm down.
Yeah. So it's not a given Christian name. So because this was a limited time event, and more importantly, due to the nature of the shelf life of diffusers, a still smelling TMNT controller has some pretty decent market value. The expert actually cited a recent closed auction on eBay that went for $2,320. These are all facts. This is what I saw on eBay. There was an eBay listing for this stupid controller that smells like pizza for $2,320.
Holy shit.
Is the pizza scent unopened?
It is unopened. Excellent question.
Controller is in the box.
controllers in the box.
Okay.
There's also, so I'll link this eBay listing because it shows a picture of the box, and the box is pretty outrageous, if I don't say so myself. Bodacious, as some would say.
Oh boy.
I happened to catch a YouTube unboxing of this controller.
That box.
And if you were wondering, hey, I wonder if this box yells cowabunga at me when I open it. It does. It does
Good.
yell cowabunga as you open it.
It's the best ASMR unboxing I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's definitely up there. So, yeah, I give you pizza controller.
Andrew, I have a very important question for you that may affect this controller's value.
Yeah.
Which turtle is it on the controller? Because the picture I'm looking at here has 4 controllers for 4 turtles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Clearly, you didn't bring the whole set.
Yeah. There's a reason why the only ones that I've seen are Raphael controllers.
Poor guy.
So I'm going to say for the bit that this is the elusive Donatello controller.
Oh, that's like Park Place at McDonald's. That shit's hard to find.
It's like Boardwalk. It's not Park Place. It's not. Wait, is Park Place better?
The Boardwalk and Park Place are they're the 2 dark blue ones.
Well, yeah, but there's
Yeah.
only one of them.
But
the
one of them
is
is-
impossible to get.
yeah.
McDonald's.
McDonald's gives you a ton
Okay.
of Boardwalk, which is like the last
Oh,
square.
yeah,
That's the
yeah, yeah,
most
it's like Park
valuable
Place.
one. But like
Yeah,
Park
there's
Place
one
is
Park
the one
Place.
that's hard to get.
Yeah, this is
Well, it's
this is
because
the
back
Park Place.
when they first started doing that game, the mob was sneaking those around.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
I watched that documentary.
It's fucking
Oh
rad.
yeah, that's a good documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, so now while this is the Donatello controller, it is unboxed and it does smell like sweaty pizza, which is going to knock a few dollars off of that ultimate value, but you know, I'm still feeling pretty confident.
Okay. Also, a good get. Last question, Andrew. This was a sweepstakes. You've said you've seen others of these on sale. Do you know how many winners got these? How many of these went out?
I don't know the actual answer to that question.
Are they as rare as a twofer piece of wood that you put an Atari joystick in?
My very honest answer.
That you put your own Atari joystick in?
Yeah. My very honest answer is I'm pretty sure it's not that rare.
Okay.
The news release doesn't say how many there were. I'm guessing there are probably... so based on the YouTube video that I watched, I think they sent them to a bunch of like creators and shit and
Sure.
influencers. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
guess it's a normal run of what you consider to be like a promotional swag gift.
Like a couple hundred to 500.
Probably more, yeah.
Yeah.
TBH, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Again, 499 Raphael controllers, and then
Still,
Yeah, right.
yeah. And honestly, once you've got the pizza diffusing controller,
Yeah.
you're not letting that go. So
you're not letting that go.
there aren't a ton out there. Yeah.
Real talk though, real question. This brings up a very honest question. Raphael is like everyone's like least favorite turtle, right? Like that's not just me.
It's because they can't figure out what to do with him.
They can't figure out what to do with them. Okay, yeah. Matt,
He's the one. Matt had a look to his face.
I'm gonna
but
need a consensus here first before we move on.
Personally, I think Leonardo is the lamest
Okay.
turtle, but that's
You
my
think he's a-
personal opinion.
You always
He's the
hate like
easiest-
you hate
I
the
thought-
leader
one to
character. You hate the
Yeah.
boner character.
Raphael,
yeah.
Raphael is the like, he's the badass one.
Yeah.
I know, like, the things I've seen more recently, like since adulthood that has come out, he's always the one that is like, I'm not doing it by your rules anymore. I'm
Mhm.
going my own. So like, I feel like when we were kids, he was the cool one. Him and Mikey were the cool ones.
Okay.
And now maybe he's the boner because they've so often made him be the like, I'm going on my own.
They established him as that in like the 90s when it was like you can't make him too bad.
Yeah.
You gotta make him like comically bad.
that was like the plot of the first movie, right?
Someone's yelling at us through their
It's
car
fine.
speakers. Yeah.
Anyway, pizza controller. There you go.
Pizza diffusing controller. Excellent. Okay, Todd, you're back from our buttons expert.
Boy, we talked about buttons.
I
There's
bet
so many different kinds of buttons.
Question for you, Todd, is how is that man at parties?
That's good. Well, what kind of parties are you into?
Fair. All right.
You into buttons
Excellent
parties?
He's
Yeah.
surprisingly, Andrew, he's got the Riz.
He's got Riz. I knew right away that I had gold here, but I mean, after getting it appraised, I'm dialed in. It turns out What we have here is the Armor 3 NuType wired keyboard for Nintendo Switch. That's right. We found another keyboard for a Nintendo product. We did it. We got him. Let me just put
We did it. Roll down the George Bush mission accomplished banner. We did it.
Did it.
Wow.
Now, before I tell you how much this 9-inch long keyboard goes for, I want to make it clear that price isn't everything in value. So, Timmy, can you put value on like a sunset? Can you put value on a nice hug with a loved one? Can you put value on your favorite game on Christmas morning? Of course you can't, because the real value.
You can put value on the third one for
Todd,
sure.
if you have met my father, Tom Nook, you would know the answer to all three of those is yes.
Yeah.
Unequivocally, yes.
Well, here's the thing. The real value of the Armor 3 NuType wired keyboard for Nintendo Switch is that it's going to pay for itself with all the time you regain in your gaming activities. No longer are you leashed by your fumbling opposable thumbs and lack of QWERTY keyboard access, because we're living in the prime years of 2003 once again by having a keyboard built into your favorite Nintendo gaming controller. Now, how much does it cost? How much do you value getting to enjoy those little precious moments of camaraderie with your friends instead of fumbling through insults about internet strangers' moms by clicking thumbsticks together? Also, probably about $30 with shipping. Because this came out in 2019.
Can I say something I think you might hate? I actually don't think this looks bad. I think it looks kind of like pretty legit.
All the reviews are like, feels fine.
Yeah, it looks fine, and I think it's because it is the exact same shape as a Switch.
Yep.
And here's the thing. So, two things. We'll talk more about this in the post show. Two things. One, it is wired. I want to make that clear. You can't see it in the picture.
That sucks.
There is a Bluetooth version, but it's only for the Switch OLED, which who has that?
Right.
And then
also sucks.
That sucks. Okay.
The thing is, all the major pictures of this, it's someone holding it in front of their TV as they're playing Animal Crossing. Like, it was made for Animal Crossing. Timmy and Tommy, I want you to know this is actually made. Boy, I got to tell you about games that invented you. I don't know how to get into this conversation. This is made for you.
Todd, I fear we're getting into the intellectual deep end, and
I am tapping on the fourth wall with you.
Yeah. And if we swim out much further, we both might drown. So
if we stare deep enough into our own reflections, we will see the face of God. So I want you to know, $30 Armor 3 NuType wired keyboard for Nintendo Switch. Not quite the 90,000 I thought, but you know.
You know, though, Nintendo does have an issue with voice chat on its games. So this,
boy, do they?
That's true.
This might fill a niche that needs filling. So
okay, wait. What's so fucking funny is that what Andrew said about, hey, it doesn't look that bad, and then combine that with me saying, well, Animal Crossing, and then you pointing out Nintendo's chronically terrible voice chat are the 3 bullet points of every review of this product is like, actually not bad. It's good for Animal Crossing. Hey, voice chat's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really funny.
We did it. The internet.
Mission accomplished.
Much like George W. said.
All right, guys. So these are all great products that we would love to put on the shelves of Nook Swap. However, as you may understand, around non-denominational winter gift giving holiday season, the people bringing in items to sell outweigh the number of people coming in to take items home with them. So we can only make one purchase of items of this caliber today. We got to balance what we're bringing in with what we're putting out. So give me a last. Why should we at Nook Swap buy your controller today, Matt?
Well, it's easy, Kyle. Let's get over the fact that this is a 1 of 2 item, which I guess technically would make this a 1 of 3 items if I have one. Anyway, this is a super rare item, and we'll move past that. Let's talk about the utility, because who's really going to take this and mount an Atari controller in it and use it to play Atari? The year of our Lord is 2023.
That's right, Matt. Who's really going to take this?
We're not going to take this. Anyway, this is perfect for hanging on your wall, putting on a desk, smacking somebody around with. You can do a lot of things with a plank of wood, Kyle.
Name 3 more.
Yeah, 3 more things.
Yeah.
You could prop up a desk. You could use it as like a paperweight, like to hold things down. Or
Okay.
You got a windy office in there, Matt? You got a lot of breezes?
or you could use it in a woodworking project.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
you're right. It could be like the cornerstone of a massive woodworking project. You're right, Matt.
Hey, have you seen the price of lumber these days?
Right.
True.
I'm really just surprised not a single one of them was snorting your 80s cocaine. Like that was just none of it was that.
Well, he's trying to be economical, Todd.
Fair. You know how much 80s cocaine costs nowadays? Almost as much as lumber.
Adjusted for inflation.
Anyway, like, be realistic, Kyle. This is a real Pawn Stars situation where the most expensive things at the pawn shop are not things that are usable. The people who come to these places hunting for treasure, they're hunting for the real garbage. They want the stuff that only they can have and it doesn't do anything, but they have it. And this is that. This is that thing.
You have nailed down our clientele pretty astutely. A good case you have made today, Matt. Andrew, why should we buy your Donatello TMNT pizza diffusing controller?
Kyle, Timmy, it's pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? Everybody loves pizza, Kyle. Timmy, Kyle.
Timmy Kyle.
So let me take it a step further, right? Eating pizza is great, but eating pizza is fleeting, right? It only lasts the exact amount of time it takes you to eat pizza.
I am always saying that every time I get a pizza.
As soon as you're done, you're like, oh man, when's the next time I'm going to get a pizza?
When's the next pizza?
now for the cost of about 58 large pizzas, why not instead have the experience of eating pizza permeate your entire house every minute of every day? That's so much more time than the 14 minutes that it takes you to eat a pizza.
You're right.
Which is way longer than 58 large pizzas would last you.
You're so right. And everyone knows the best part of eating pizza is not eating pizza.
Right.
It's the stale pizza smell that lingers around for hours after you've gotten rid of that pizza.
Yeah. Why do you think everyone's so into having pizza in the morning or pizza leftovers? I almost got into the Bagel Bites theme song. Let's move past it. Let's move past it.
We all clenched up a little bit and prepared.
Yeah. I respect the game too much. Now listen. There is another angle here. And fortunately for you, Kyle, what's that yelling cowabunga in the background? Ooh, look, it's another box. I got an empty box. So, Kyle, to retain the collector's value, I am gifting you, my friend Timmy Kyle, I'm going to rebox this unboxed pizza troller. That's correct. This is a shortening of pizza controller.
Understood.
Because what says leave it the fuck in the box more than some dumb gimmicky toy that has one prime function that will inevitably stop working after like a dozen or so uses, right? The sheer fact that this pizza diffuser has a very, very real time limit on it makes this product worth keeping in the original package. You know, it's like they say, it's a real Pawn Stars thing. The things that really sell are not usable. The things that sell it are what smell like old pizza.
I was going to be so mad at you when you just said exactly what I said, but then you changed it, so it's cool.
I changed it. I respect the game too much.
Andrew, thank you. That's a very compelling case for this pizza troller.
Thank you.
We'll consider that. And Todd, why?
Well, Timmy, I don't know if you were born yet, but a crucial fact to the internet is that internet gaming peaked with 2003's Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 for the Nintendo GameCube. And,
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, they're all saying it. And we've just been chasing that high for 2 decades now. And we have that dream in our palms of our hands and sometimes our laps with the Armor 3 NuType wired keyboard for Nintendo Switch. It's here, Timmy. Gaming's future is past. This will unlock the true gamer potential that's been held back for years. The possibilities are endless. And I gotta tell you, when it comes to resale value, the schmucks in their 30s longing for the simpler days of bygone eras will be clamoring for this baby. They're going to be able to type so many hateful things on the internet to the people you play video games with this thing. And don't even get me started about the opportunities for a Mario Teaches Typing Remaster Edition for the Switch. We can have it. It's here. We can do it.
We did just get the Super Mario RPG remake, which we didn't think was ever going to happen. Maybe Mario Beacon Teaches Typing.
Mario Beacon Teaches Typing. Then we'll get Mario is Missing. And then we're going to get all those other deep cut Mario games that only a few people loved.
Todd, Tommy, the raccoon who owns this pawn shop, do remember the peak of video gaming and it being Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm a small business owner. I'm very busy. Can I play Phantasy Star Online 1 or 2 on a Nintendo Switch today in 2023?
The truthful answer is you can, and it's bad. It is out there, and everyone on the internet will tell you not to do it because
they don't have a keyboard that that attaches to their Switch.
That's what's been missing.
I, the grown man Todd Thomas, who so badly wants to play that game again, have looked into it, and everything on the internet says no, don't. Please stop.
It's free to play, right?
Don't dead open inside is what it says.
Good.
It might be, but it's not good. Whatever it is, it's not. Everything on the internet is like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Keep your memories pure.
Yeah.
Don't open this.
It's like if you were to fire up Kirby's Air Ride, it probably won't be as good as you remember it.
You shut your whore mouth.
I regret to tell you that I have played Kirby's Air Ride in a year that has a 2 in that third spot, and it holds up.
Okay.
Kirby's Air Ride.
Did you play it on a GameCube with the GameCube's online adapter that is the size of your hand?
That I did not.
Then you didn't get the real gamer TM experience.
You're probably right. Okay. So I'm going to go in the back, and I got to figure out which of these we are going to buy today. While I'm back there, I think I've been doing this a long time. I can tell. All 3 of you got that look in your eye. You heard what you've got. You've heard how special and amazing it is. You're not sure you want to sell it anymore. So when I come back out,
that's just my face. I just always look like I'm.
When I come back out, I'm going to give you guys our offer and which one we're going to buy today, which one we want to buy today. But I need you guys, be real with me. Tell me why I shouldn't buy this from you so you can hold on to this amazing, all 3 of these amazing pieces of video game history, if we're being honest. I will hear that when we come back after this break.
How well do you know your video game lovers?
Have you ever wondered how your video game bays stack up against all the other delectable digital dates?
I'm Genesis, the girl whose motto in life is love, laugh, tequila. And on 2 Girls, 1 Ship, we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer.
And I'm Vervada, the hopeless romantic cat lady and lifelong gamer.
But you should know that our podcast centers on character and romance analysis and doesn't shy away from exploring the fun of physical connection.
Or from the deep emotional connections built between 2 characters, using specific in-game dialogue and the overall narrative journey. So join the 2 Girls, 1 Ship shipsters, and remember,
beauty is in the eye of the controller.
Okay, we're back. We talked it over. We've got some prices for you guys. We are ready to buy one of these collectibles today. I can tell you got some treasures there. You want to hold on to them. Tell us why I shouldn't buy these from you today, Matt.
Here's the thing, Kyle and Tim and Tom and everyone.
1 Tim, 2 Toms, and a Kyle.
My favorite Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I got there.
This is the bagel bites again.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, look, I'm sorry. There's been a big mistake. I thought that I had an Atari Stick Station. That's my bad. I don't have an Atari Stick Station. I have a Nintendo Speedboard, which is a lot like an Atari Stick Station, but is way more common. So
The fuck?
it's literally the same thing, but in gray plastic. And for Nintendo, that's my bad. I'm so sorry. Not an Atari Stick Station, one of the rarest console peripherals ever made. No, it's the Nintendo.
You know what this was made for? This was made for
Track
the
and
Olympics.
field.
The track and field game.
Yeah. Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid.
It's really stupid.
I love it.
I bet it has the texture of old pencil erasers.
It has to have the texture of old pencil erasers.
Yeah,
It sure does.
definitely. Interesting that this piece of plastic with the texture of old pencil erasers fooled all of us into thinking it might have been sourced from the same logs that the mighty Louisville Slugger bats are crafted from.
Well, they put it in a wood case, like it was a reproduction situation. Yeah. It was a
Okay.
Speedboard disguised to look like an Atari Stick Station.
Interesting.
A literal
Interesting.
Trojan horse of a speedboard.
Yeah.
The Trojan Speedboard, if you will.
If you will, yeah. Andrew.
I didn't realize that I was allowed to change the reality of my product, but that's fine.
I'd argue that I'm not changing anything. These
What
two
other
things are the same.
food-related controller is yours, Andrew?
I'm not
The
changing.
Donkey Kong
It's-
Banana and 64 controller?
It's just
Hold
a
on,
regular
no, no
Xbox
way.
controller that
Wait,
Andrew
no, wait.
duct taped pizza to.
No, wait. Kyle, it's pizza. Timmy, Tommy, the rest of the Nook fam, who really wants their house to smell like pizza for more than like an hour a month? Kyle, Tommy, Timmy, Tom, for this price, you could literally buy 58 large pizzas.
Yeah.
And even if you eat one pizza once a week, even if you eat pizza once a week like Todd,
I mean,
that's still
over
more,
a year of pizzas.
That's still more than an entire year's worth of pizza. And as we all know, as the saying goes, you don't want pizza every time. You don't want pizza for every meal. You just want it sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't want pizza in the morning. You don't want
Don't
pizza
want it.
in the evening.
I didn't have it up here, all right?
Yeah.
You don't want pizza at supper time. Yeah. Because when pizza's on an Xbox controller,
Don't
You-
take my outro.
Todd, talk us out of buying the new NuType.
The Armor 3 NuType wired keyboard for Nintendo
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah.
Easy.
What,
You know
what
what?
I said, yeah.
Yeah. You know what kids hate, Tim? Books and words and reading.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
So
Reading-
much do kids
okay.
hate books.
Reading is dumb, and words are necessary to make sentences, and letters then have to make words, and the whole thing is the antithesis of fun. People don't play video games to read, and frankly, the cowards at Big Internet are going to censor all the best words you're going to say anyway with asterisks.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah, so why don't you just slide that oversized sheet of buttons back over to me, and I'll just go like throw it away or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be best. Okay. We thought we knew what we were gonna get. You guys made some more arguments. We're not sure now. So just give us your closing statements, your last pitch. What do you want? How much money do you want today to part with these honestly just treasures of gaming history? Matt.
Okay, Kyle, so what I told you about the Speedboard, just waiting for the other two to walk away. Definitely an Atari Stick Station. Definitely still want you to buy it. Definitely only a one of two item. Definitely still want like $200,000 for it.
Matt, you were so right to do that. I heard them talking when you went off with your expert. They're planning to jump you and steal your stick station if we don't buy it here today. So good call, throwing them off the scent.
I figured as much.
Yeah. Andrew,
Well, Kyle, Timmy, Tommy, whatever the fuck your name is these days,
name your price.
as a wise man once said, reading is dumb. And I
I've
would
heard
make the
that.
argument that the only reason our entire generation, the one thing that led our entire generation to reading was pizza. Ergo, the value of something to remind you of those halcyon childlike days where you were getting your book it gem on your button. On your button? There you go, button guy. The best way to remind yourself of those nostalgic days is to just huff the fake essential oil scent of your Xbox controller that smells like pizza. So what I'm going to offer you is out of box, just the controller with the pizza and the diffuser fully intact, fully loaded. I'm going to say $2,500. So that is a little bit higher than the market value of the unboxed Raphael controller, knowing that we are adjusting for the exclusivity of the Donatello model. Sure. Now, what I'm not going to offer you is the box, because that's for daddy, because it yells cowabunga at me.
Okay. All right. We'll take all of that into consideration. Todd, name your price.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't know what they're whispering to you, but I'm over here now whispering. And
we're all whispering. Yeah, thank you. We're all whispering.
Kids
cowabunga. That's what that was whispering.
Listen, I lied. Kids love reading. Famously, child literacy on the rise. Don't check the news. What I have given you here is
Todd. Good. I think all news is fake anyway. This is Timmy speaking. So yeah.
Nevada's a lawless land. So yeah,
it is. Yep.
The Armor 3 NuType wired keyboard for Nintendo Switch presents you two big things: diversity and options. Tim, there's something like 30 named holidays between November and January.
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't it about time you have a controller that has a similar number of usable buttons on it? No longer will you be held back by your standard 2 thumbsticks, some shoulder buttons, and the ABXY setup, or the X square circle triangle if you're a pervert. It's time to embrace the future, and we can do that for $60. And I got to that total with that covers my $30 cost, gives me $20 transit to get back to my hotel, and the remaining $10 I'm going to get a slice of Sbarro pizza from the Flamingo Hotel lobby food court. And that's just going to be good for me.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, we're going to go back and consider all these offers. And when we come back out, we're going to make a purchase today. I'm confident we will be able to find a price that is right for one of these items. While we're back there, we like good vibes in this shop, and it's a rule before we buy anything brought to us from a group of people that they all say something nice about each other. So, Matt, kick us off with good vibes.
Tim points at the sign on the wall.
Good vibes only. Good vibes only. It's on the wall.
Bad vibes get out. Guys, I've said it before. I'll say it again. The shitty peripheral well never runs dry. In fact, it runneth over.
Gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, incredible year. I really, really liked the angle that we did with the Pawn Stars thing. Very fun. Liked it a lot. So hats off to you, Kyle. Andrew, man, do I love a controller that smells like pizza, but on purpose. That's really funny. I have to imagine that, like pizza, is probably the second most common video game controller smell. Right after like sweaty hands. And maybe right around like Cheetos.
Right above Cheetos. Yeah.
No, I'm going to put Cheetos in third because like the visible Cheeto dust, someone will try to wipe that off.
Yeah.
That grease doesn't go away.
No.
I'm guessing old cigarettes is somewhere in the top 3.
Probably out there. Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk about it more in the post show, but I have one friend who I specifically remember having controllers that your hands smelled like after you played games at his house. So this hit a specific nerve for me and is very funny, and I like it. And I also like that it came out this year. That's incredible. Todd, way to bring it back to a Nintendo thing with a keyboard in the middle. Excellently done. Excellently executed. I did not know that this existed, and I'm really glad that you found it. This explains why in our Discord today, Todd told us he was going to do one thing, and then 2 hours later said, nope, wait, found a dumber thing. I get it now, and I'm glad that you did.
Yeah.
Matt, you brought a plank of wood today.
I sure did.
You brought a plank of wood to a controller fight.
I know we say this a lot, but game recognizes game. Wow. You have an uncanny ability to find the dumbest 80s era old-timey Atari shit. And this is the dumbest, old-timiest Atari-ist shit that you've brought to the show, because it's a plank of wood that you just kind of jam a controller, a joystick into. And I don't know whether to be horrified or impressed or both. Incredibly well done, as always. Todd, on a similar note, you have the uncanny ability to find the most needless Nintendo-operated device out there on the market. And while I will say there was a brief moment where I was like, man, it would be really cool to not have to like input my password every time I go into the eShop, like one letter at a time.
Oh,
The utility stops there, right? Like I've never ever in a million years ever said like, I really wish I had a working
I wish
keyboard.
I could type GG easy.
Yeah, I wish I
real
could
fast.
type GG easy. Really well done. Great find, great last minute pivot. As always, a very happy non-denominational winter solstice adjacent celebration to both of you and to you, Kyle.
Oh, thank you. Timmy, Tommy, and Tom also wish the same to you and yours.
Fine.
Matt, what I love two things about yours. One, growing up as a child, one of my favorite cartoons was Ren and Stimpy, and I loved Log. Log had about as much utility as this. Someone being like, well, you could do this with it. Well, you could do with this. I think what I like most about this is if I remember correctly, when you introduced it, you said you have to screw that in.
Yeah.
Because there's no way the technology back then was like, oh yeah, it just clicks in.
Nope.
There's no way that technology existed here. Like they weren't 3D printing anything. They're like, no, you gotta lodge it in there.
Todd, this is carved out of wood.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no like measured specifics of a groove that like slides in with a nice pleasing click.
Absolutely not.
It's in there forever. My first thought actually when you showed this picture was, well, now you're not going to lose it. I mean, that's like
That's a fair
a major thing to it. So I love that. I love old peripherals because they're just, I mean, lack of better terminology, they're blunt objects. They're just, there's not an ounce of finesse to it. And I think that's great. Andrew, scent-based controllers are a crime.
Yeah.
And the fact that this one exists has set a very dangerous precedent.
The fact that real world adults decided to sell this as part of a promotional stunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
I spent a good amount of today wondering like what this leads to. Like, We've cracked the Human Genome Project. What comes next?
Sure.
Todd, I will talk about it in the post show. My company has like dabbled in this technology.
No, I don't like that at all. So what I do love though is I love new peripherals. I love new ones because it tells me that like there's hope. There's hope for years to come. The fact that both yours and mine came about before we started doing, or have come out since we have started doing this show, tells me that the definition of an endless well is correct. There's
they keep making this shit.
Gonna be more. The biggest bummer is that we're out of the Wii era, though there is a shit ton of bad Wii peripherals. Just gotta hope that the motion controls and the Switch just keep it going.
You know, here's the thing, man. Trends are cyclical, and
give it time.
Give it time. I will say right now, I will stake my personal reputation. I very much think like we're gonna see a Rock Band renaissance in a couple years.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be like wrist and finger like wearables. We're gonna get a peripheral for Trombone Champ eventually. It's just, when does it happen?
It's true.
Yeah, that's not an if but a when for sure. All right, guys, we've talked, we've crunched the numbers, we've looked at charts and projections and a third thing. And we're ready to make an offer on one of these items today. Let me break the bad news first. So, Andrew, unfortunately, we're going to have to pass on the Donatello Pizza Scent controller, and let me tell you why. I think this is a very fascinating piece. The fact that it's a Donatello when all we can find are Raphaels. That's great. I love it. Unfortunately, you've been in here for a while. This is a pawn shop. 50% of our products just naturally smell like pizza.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the other 50 smell like weed. So I can't sell it on the pizza scent because everything else in the store smells kind of like pizza already. So they're just going to think I'm trying to cover some of our pizza ear smelling items. So I'm going to have to pass today. Todd, I can't make you an offer on the keyboard for the wired keyboard for your Switch. I really like the product. I, like you, want to go back and play Phantasy Star Online on the Switch so bad and just recapture that feeling of typing out insults to someone I don't know thousands of miles away. But we took it to this in the back and tested it, and I got to tell you, it had drift. Just like the Joy-Cons. I tried to type an H and it put in a K. Tried to type an E, we got a Y. It's just, there's some bad drift going on. Maybe if you get it fixed up, we can talk in the new year, new quarter, all that. We can talk again, but I'm going to have to pass today. So Matt, we at Nook Swap are prepared to make you an offer on the Stick Station. Now, we can't offer you $200,000. We think this is a fantastic collector's item. Someone will eventually pay a lot of money for it, but we got to find the right buyer. It's going to sit on our shelves for a while, and until we find that buyer, it is just a plank of wood with a Atari joystick hole cut into it. However, this being one of three, potentially has connections to Louisville Slugger, the famous bat brand, and just the novelty of it, we can offer you $50,000 today if you would like that.
That is more than I came in here with. I only came in here with a plank of wood, so I would love $50,000. Thank you.
Excellent. Happy to do business with you, Matt. And listeners, thank you for listening to this special edition of Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. Matt, will you talk to the camera outside and tell the camera how you really feel about getting offered $50,000 when you wanted $200,000, because that's the last bit of Pawn Stars formula we've got to do before we wrap up the Pawn Stars episode, is you got to tell us why you're salty that you still got $50,000.
Yeah, so I know what I had.
There it is.
I do think that I could have gotten more money for that thing, but I also didn't bring anything else with me to Vegas, and $50,000 will help get me home.
Great. Amazing that you suppressed that accent the entire time you were in the store. All the more impressive that you brought us such a rare item today. Otherwise, listeners, merch, we have it. Right now, you can go on the internet and order things that say Debate This on them. All you need to do is head over to our Redbubble page and give us your money. Does our Redbubble page have a cool and easy URL for us to read at this audio ad? It sure doesn't. But you can find it with relative ease by going to www.debatethiscast.com and visiting the Support the Show page. And let me personally say, just last week, I was gifted a fabulous pair of Debate This socks with my pixelated visage on them. And I have never been more excited to receive a pair of socks in my life. And if you want that same feeling, go to our Redbubble page, buy yourself some socks with my or anyone from the show's likeness on them, and I can personally guarantee that you will be filled with a childlike sense of joy and wonder.
Agreed.
Until next time, I'm Kyle Harper.
I'm Matt. Put a bunch of sticks inside the police department. Call that a stick station. Cole.
I'm Andrew. Josh Stein, Xbox social media manager and chief TMNT in-house expert, says, quote, "When pizza's on an Xbox controller, you can play TMNT Shredder's Revenge TM on Xbox Game Pass for the low price of $9.99 a month, anytime," end quote. Henderson.
And I'm Todd, chainsaw controller, but with scent tech for gasoline, essential oils, Thomas.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.